Hey everybody, it's me, Tasia, and I'm back to do another video. I just want to apologize in advance if I'm talking quietly or the lighting's really dark, but it is late at night. My cousins are in bed, so I have to be a little courteous and not talk too loud or have too much light going on while they're trying to sleep. They are going to an Olympic event tomorrow, so they need to be up at 4 in the morning. I'm not envious. So it's Thursday, which means it's my day. And that being said, this week's topic is, I'm pulling up the question, so just give me a second. I should have been so much more prepared. Let's see here. Oh no. There we go. Sorry. We just changed the location of our questions. So here we go. Being a transsexual versus being a genderqueer, a crossdresser, or other identities you can identify as. How did you find out what you are? Do you feel it could change at any time? Now, let me start off by giving you some definitions. And definitions can be very helpful because they make things black and white. Now, I will start off by saying that arguably these terms have different meanings to different people, but in general, let me encompass what these definitions are. Transgendered is an umbrella term, okay? It means that you fit under the trans scale, meaning you live your life outside of the gender norm in some way. Being a transsexual means that you are going through the medical process of transitioning yourself from male to female. That is very loose, as everybody has a different end point. For some people it's just hormones, for others it includes surgery, but then that filters down into pre, post, and non-op. But basically a transsexual is somebody who is undergoing the process of becoming the opposite gender. A transvestite is someone who does not undergo any treatment, mainly HRT treatment, and lives their life in the opposite gender. So, for say you are a man, but you live your life as a female, but you do not take hormones in order to acquire that femininity, then you are therefore regarded as a transvestite. A drag queen very loosely fits into this category, as it is outside of the gender norm for a man to dress up as the opposite gender. So if you are a drag queen, you are dressing up as a woman for the purpose of entertaining, point blank. If you are dressing up as a woman for any personal satisfaction, doesn't mean it has to be sexual, but personal satisfaction, whether it makes you feel good, whether it turns you on, whatever, if it gives you some sort of personal satisfaction, that makes you a cross-dresser. None of these terms have any negative connotation towards them. That is purely societal. Society views these terms in different ways that make it seem negative, but they aren't negative. For instance, cross-dressers are always looked at as being pervs and, really kind of disgusting. But in fact, it really is like a form of therapy for those people. Just like a man might go see a dominatrix, or a woman might go to see some therapy, or somebody might go do yoga. You know what I mean? It's a therapeutic session for them to be outside of themselves and kind of have a new role. Um, Now, for me personally, I identify myself as a transsexual woman because I am going through the process of physically changing my body through the use of hormones and surgery. So this makes me a pre-op transsexual. Um, the reason why I know this is because plainly dressing up as a woman does not give me any satisfaction, um, because it's not something that I would do behind closed doors. It's not something that, I just find. I'm not happy living my life as male at all. Um, it's not me, it's not who I am. I am not male, so for me to live my life as male and then occasionally dress up as female, I don't identify as that. I have done drag in the past, um, and that was very liberating because people viewed me as a woman. They did not view me as a drag queen. I think that's something that I have to make very clear because I was more along the lines of female impersonator rather than a drag queen. So it was a little less theatrical. Now, um, I'm not a transvestite because I personally need the medical intervention to feel successful in my transition, and it's mostly to do with my body chemistry and the way it affects my thinking process, the way it affects my body changes, the way it makes me feel. Um, it's a grounding kind of feeling, to have that, um, to have that. And I plan on having my lower surgery, as well as breast augmentation. So, I mean, that's me personally. I know that I will forever be a transgendered person, but I do think that it can change over time. For example, I might be a transsexual woman at the moment, but once I have gotten to the point where I have achieved the things I want to in transition, I will no longer be a transsexual woman. Rather, I'd just be a woman who is transgendered. Um, I feel that sometimes you can kind of go up, you can slide over on the list. So if you're a cross dresser, quite often you can slide into being, or even a drag queen, you can slide into being a transsexual. Um, Even transvestites can slide into being a transsexual because after living that life for so long, it becomes a need that they need to express every moment of every day. And um, a lot of cross dressers might just even slide over to transvestite because it's more of a physical representation of their outwardly exterior that they want to change rather than the internal. So um, I do believe it can change to a certain extent. Um, I mean, I believe that you can't go backwards, if that makes sense. You can't go from being a transsexual to not being a transsexual just because you can get to a point in your life where the pressure becomes too much for you to cope with, and your ability to cope and maneuver your life and your feelings, um, around your social acceptance can be very influential, and you may stop your transition, but that doesn't make you stop being transgendered. Um, So, I mean, obviously, you can stop taking hormones and then you would not be a transsexual woman, or you could not be undergoing any physical alteration, and you could not be a transsexual, but you will always be a transgender person and still be on that kind of radar of things. But I think that answers the question. If you need any more clarity, just comment below, or you can message me on my personal channel, which is XO?OX, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye.